I'd like to thank you, Landon, for jumping onto our phone call today. So, everybody, Landon Stokoe is an amazing real estate investor, and as well as a real estate mentor to everybody that he walks, everybody he's around. I feel like every time I'm around him, I feel like a better person. I'm really happy that he's able to take some time out of his busy schedule to come over to tell us how like his story, how he started, where he's going, or how he started, difficulties along the way, what strategies he's been using so that he to experience the success that he has been doing right now. So, Landon, I will give you the floor.
Oh, well, thank you and good morning. Um, Hi, everybody. Good to be on here with you guys. It's my first time being able to do something with Tim on a webinar. So hopefully we get to do more of these. I love doing these where I can bring value or hopefully inspire somebody to take their business to the next level or just to get up and get busy or hopefully have a story that's relatable to you to just make you get out of your seat and take action. So real quick, guys, I'm just going to run you through how everything evolved. I know we only got 30 minutes, but I think part of these pieces of the story are critical to understand the motivation behind what I do and why I do it. Real quick, when I was 14 years old, grew up with my family, we had something happen. It was a bad thing. My dad died, right? It was my stepdad. He passed away at the age of 14. And granted, it was a negative thing that happened, but trying to see the good out of every part in life that that counts, because negative things are always going to happen. It's just how you handle it and how you push forward. Real quick, he passed away at the age of 14, and I went to my mom and I had to ask her. I was like, "Hey, what are the bills? How much is rent? How much is utilities? How much do we got to pay to keep in our house? How much money do we got?" And she's like, "We don't have any money." It's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean we don't have any money? Dad's been working his whole life." She's like, "Yeah, we don't have any money." So right there was a trigger for me when I was younger. I realized my father had worked his whole life and survived us. He survived us. He worked his whole entire life to pass away and to find out that we didn't have nothing. And so that was one trigger in my head, knowing whatever my family, my uncles, my aunts, and everybody were doing, it wasn't the answer to being financially free or retirement. So, from that part, I started paying utility bills. I'm a 14-year-old kid just working my guts out, kind of in and out of school. I got a job, got into construction, and I had so many years already put in before the time I was 18. I went into business at the age of 18. So I became the youngest contractor in the state of Utah, which was a huge accomplishment for me, but it came out of something negative, a death of a family member. But then I went into business and I entrepreneur at the age of 18. So I went out and I failed big time. I worked hard, failed, worked, failed. I started hiring employees and I was like, cool. I had my first year, I made 100, and this is back in the days, right? I made like $120,000 in a year, and I was like, yes, I made it. I made $100,000. I made more money than all my uncles that were at the time. And then I had to pay all the debt and all the bills, and I realized that I really didn't make $100,000. I realized that my income was minimal to what I thought. I had to pay taxes. I had the business overhead. So going forward. Through the construction world and everything I've done that for over 20 years. And along doing that path in my life, I've had a lot of real estate investors, people that own rental properties came to me and said, "Landon, hey, can you come fix this house? Hey, can you handle this project? Can you do this project?" And so I'm watching these investors make all this money as I go in and handle all the rehab. I did hundreds of houses, hundreds of them. And I would go in and finish them, and I'm like, man, I got to do something different. And I just wanted to get into real estate investing. So everything triggers from way back when. It was when I was younger. I realized there was pieces that were coming together in my life, and I had to figure this puzzle out of like how to beat the game, how to get myself financially free, and how to leave something for my kids. So along that path, I wanted to do real estate investing. And I never had the money. That was kind of my thinking at the time. My mind was locked. I realized that I couldn't even pay my rent barely every month. Every time I worked hard every month, and I realized I couldn't pay my rent. I struggled every month financially, even though I was working 14 and 16-hour days. And a good friend of mine named Stuart Rosenberg came across this opportunity called Granatus. And he says, hey, bro, come down and check out this event. And I went down with him, and I took my wife, and we started listening to these guys talk about finances, money, strategies, real estate investing, and how to do it with little none of my money, and how I could anyways, the time we're done, I'm looking at this and I started getting excited, right? I get excited. I'm like, holy heck, I've been doing it all wrong. I've been running my business the wrong way. I just had my mind trapped all those years, just trapped, and got to see the Renatus system laid out. And I was blown away. I told my wife, if what they're telling me here right now, if what they're showing me about taxes, if what they're showing me about real estate, and they're saying I can do it, if what they're saying is true, I said, I'll never go back to a job. I'll never do it again, because I was looking for that key component, which we found through Renatus. What a ride it's been, Tim. I'll tell you, it's been it's been awesome, right? Love what we do. I love this business, and get to meet great people like Tim, Christian Sadler, just a ton, Stuart and Tanya, and there's just a whole arsenal of people that I've met because of this Renatus business, the community of people, and that's a key part to doing your business, right? The connections, the relationships, it's all comes together. You take the right education, all that knowledge, take the right action, and you connect with all these people, and all of a sudden you're doing real estate. And that was a big one for me. So I'm just trying to watch the timer because I know we could go, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. So let me go into this. As we get started in Renatus, we're into Renatus a few months. I'm pumped up, I'm excited, but I haven't took any action. I'm just studying. I'm watching my classes. I fall asleep on my keyboard every single night. Every night. I was hungry for it, but I wasn't taking action yet. I was just learning the game, understanding what was possible. And we're about month 5 or 6 into the business. I'm running projects. I go out to one of my properties that I'm doing, remodeling, and I get there and I notice something's different on the front of the house. I'm like, what the? Oh my goodness, where's my trailer? Where's my trailer with all my equipment inside of it? We pulled up, somebody had stolen my trailer. And I had a lifetime of just equipment and tools. I had a bucket in there that had these spray tips. The bucket alone was like more than $10,000. It was just a little bucket. It sat in one little corner of that trailer. They wiped me out pretty much with all my equipment. And so that was like a huge thing for me. Like I realized like, man, I can't perform out here and do construction work without all my tools. So that day was a huge turning point for me inside my business and where I'm at today. I pulled up back to my house that day. I was so mad and frustrated with it. I was crying. I'm sitting in my driveway. My trailer's been stolen. I got to take care of my family, and I'm in a situation I have never been in. I felt vulnerable for once. I felt vulnerable that like, man, I've been working my guts out to build this business, and in one fell swoop, one day, somebody took it and wiped all my equipment out from underneath. Now, I still had the knowledge to build what I built. I could redo it. But I'm like, you know how long it took me to acquire all that? And that day, there's a guy that I met from the Renatus community named Del Hargis. Craziest story. Del calls me up on the phone. Now, if you know me, I don't answer a lot of unanswered. Like, if I don't know your number, leave a message. I'll get back to you. And this number shows up, and I don't know who it is. I'm in my driveway, in my truck, looking where my trailer used to sit at my place. And I'm in tears, and I answer the phone. Hello? Landon, Del Hargis, what's up? I'm like, whoa. It's like, wow, man. I go, it's crazy you're calling me right now. And he's like, what's going on, bro? I said, man, I just got robbed. I just got wiped out. He's like, okay, bro, real talk. I was like, well, tell me something. He's like, man, he goes, congratulations. I said, what? Now you gotta understand, I'm like furious. I'm a boxer. So you gotta understand, like, I got this frustration in me. And he's like, congratulations. I go, what did you just say? He's like, man, he goes, this is what you needed to happen to you. He goes, how quick could you go make money every week? I said, I can always make money. He goes, yeah, that was your crutch. That's what held you back. I was like, okay, keep talking. I'm listening to you. But, and he says, look, you needed something so devastating to rock you, to realize your purpose and where you were in life. You need something to shake it, to interrupt your frequency, to show you that where you truly were on your quest of path. You need something to make you trigger to the other side, make you do something different, to take yourself. You just had to be rocked. I go, well, I'm rocked right now, man. I'm listening. He goes, you're going to use this piece of your life to change everything you're doing. He says, have you been taking your other business serious? You know, when we started talking, I was like, okay. So I realized it was time for me to burn all my ships. There was no plan B for me no more. Plan C, plan A was become a real estate investor, build my business, build a legacy for my kids and my wife, and help a bunch of other people go down the same path. And from that day forward, I hit it hard. I hit it as hard as I possibly could. I gave it everything I got. And next thing you know, we got a deal. My first acquisition, subject to deal, $1,500 down, took over an existing mortgage of $115,000, just shy of a $900 payment, and we flipped it and we made $37,000. And I was like, okay, one win on my belt. That's what I needed. So what I did, I looked at it as shelf life. I was like, I got enough money to last me how long? Because I got a little bit of insurance money for my trailer. And I was like, I got a little shelf life. I just got to run hard now. And so I count down the months, how far I could go before I had to have the next deal on the table and just put the pieces together. And I just started working. I worked like I had no other option because I burned all my ships. I had no other option. So I started putting 50 to 60 offers a week on a constant basis. I started studying. I went to every single event. I didn't miss a Renatus event. I'm there on Thursday night. I'm there on Super Saturday. I'm there at everything because I wanted it bad enough. And so when I'm done with this call with everybody here, you get to hear a lot of people talk. One of the things I want to do when I get off any call is to motivate you. I want you to be like, you know what? It's time for me to take action. It's time for me to have that moment that's like shifts me or rocks me and realizing that I'm not taking it serious yet. I want to see you transform your life to actually push forward. So guys, what a game changer. What a game changer. In a matter of 4.5 months, I took down 13 properties. I kept 12 of them as rentals, and I just kept pushing forward and realizing there's always room to growth, always room to learn. And what a great journey it's been. It has been it's been awesome. It has been absolutely awesome. I always tell people that are getting started with me or Renatus, or I go, what's the alternative? It's kind of one of my things, because I want you to think, what is the alternative if you don't build this business? What is the alternative? The alternative is a job, or not getting yourself to that higher level, not applying tax strategies that actually benefit you and your family. How about if it's not about you, right? How about if it's about leaving something for your family when you're gone? That's a big one for me, because you guys understand my story. When my dad died, we got left with nothing. No insurance money. A car wasn't even paid off. We were renting a place. So for me, I got my beautiful kids, and I want to leave something behind. But more than money, I want to leave them the knowledge of being around like this community, being around the people like Tim and Christian and all the other leaders in the business. I want them to see these people, entrepreneurs, pushing forward in their life, applying these strategies, because they get to see it as it just becomes natural for them. And even my kid, I want a little soapbox on my kid. My son is he's 12 years old right now. He's been around the Renatus business now for over 6 years. I have him help me on our rentals, and I pay him to do it from my construction company. And the other day I was able to pay him out. I paid him like $2,200, a 12-year-old kid. So we ended up giving him $2,200. And I asked my son, this is a beautiful thing. This is why Renatus rocks. He tells me, okay, I'm going to hear Dax, here's the money. I go, what are you going to do with it? He's like, well, I already know. I already know if I put it in the savings that they're not going to pay me money. He gets it. He understands the interest rate. I said, okay, what do you want to do? He's like, well, let's talk. He goes, it's a family business. You have all these properties going. Let's re-put the money back into it. I said, good job, man. So maybe my 12-year-old kid investing. It brings tears to my eyes. I think it's beautiful. So me and him talked around. He kept a little bit of the money, reloaned the money back to us, to the business, at an interest rate, and his money's working for him now. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And he gets it. He understands the number and how the money's working. I'm like, you're a 12-year-old kid with some thousands of dollars working, collecting interest. You are a money lender at 12 years old, son. You're a money lender. Yeah, Dad, yeah, we're going to get some more, and then we'll start getting some more properties. I got him out putting offers with me on houses. If you need a rehab, if you're rehabbing a house, take my son. He can walk you through, tell you prices of cabinets, whatever. It's beautiful. But thing is, if my son got a bunch of money, because I know if I would have got a bunch of money by the time I was 18 or 14, I probably would have hurt myself. So by doing this, understanding this business and these concepts, I'm able to give my son knowledge where he can go find a house. He can learn how to negotiate. He can learn how to go put these tax strategies. He understands how the business is put together we have a family trust, and it owns LLCs and has S-Corps over here and LLCs that own a bunch of rental properties. He knows at the age of 12, he understands how it's all laid out. We're novice. What we do here, having these webinars, getting up in the morning and taking a second to feed your brain. And Tim, and I think it's great, like, you're a leader, man. I mean, bro, I've been so excited to just reconnect with you. I mean, you've been a leader since I met you, and you've always brought value, and you've always pushed forward. And if you're watching people like Tim do what they do, Tim's a winner, man. Tim has just been doing real estate. Dude, what you're doing is what we want everybody to do. We want to see that for everybody. You're a true product of the system. You take action and you make things go. So, I mean, just being your friend and being associated with you and Christian Sadler, and it's always been an honor.
Well, that's kind of you to say. I appreciate you, man. There's still a lot of things I'm working on too. So looking at just rubbing shoulders with you makes me a better person. So I want you to know that I really value and I really look up to you, man. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I want to say one thing before you go there, because I know we're short on time, but I have an analogy. I use it all the time with my team and my people, and it's about being a lighthouse, and it's something I speak on it all the time in business, in whatever we do. I want to encourage everybody here to think of yourself as a lighthouse as you're moving forward, even if you don't feel like it. And what I mean by that is I do this for me mentally and for my family. The way I look at it is with Renatus in the education and the knowledge that we have, it's powerful. It's so powerful, but it means nothing if you do nothing with it. Okay, first of all. So I look at my uncles and my aunts, my grandpa, and all these guys are still trying to figure out finances, trying to figure out how to win the game, they're lost and confused. A lot of them, the majority of them are. And so I kind of look at it like a lot of these people are lost in a sea of debt. They're lost in a sea of just where to go financially, or there's money troubles, divorces. And I understand, like, I look at my family and I'm like, okay, look at my friends struggling. My mentality is to never be the boat out in the water with them. To stay in my position and know whenever my times get tough, when your times get tough, take the position of being a lighthouse, okay? Because when you realize your position and where you're supposed to be for other people, you are the lighthouse and you're bringing other people in. You're bringing in the troubled ships. You're bringing in the people that are in a tough spot. And if you know, like, when you're in a tough spot, you don't go end up out in the water with them. You say, okay, I got to be the lighthouse and I have to hold the front line. I have to be a leader. And so I have the thought of me being a lighthouse, and I look over and I see somebody like Tim, another lighthouse for other people, hosting webinars, pushing things. I look over the other side. Maybe we don't connect all the time, but then I look over and there's Christian Sadler. He's another lighthouse for people. People can listen to him. People can hear what he's saying. And they're like, hey, you know what? Christian's not lost out in the water. He's not out at sea distressed and troubled. He knows his position as a leader, that he is a lighthouse. So I want to encourage it to spread that word out to people. Let's unite lighthouses. Let's just know that I can look over and I can see other people. And anybody else that's on the phone call, I want to encourage you to be a lighthouse for yourself, your family, and other people. And just unite and work this business.
Yeah, thank you, Landon. So just a quick question for you. As you were talking about, you just buckled down and you started to go to go and put out offers on properties. Can you just talk a little bit about when you went and you put out like 50 offers a week? What methods were you using to put out those offers? Like, how were you looking for those? Like, how did you find those 13 deals in that first year?
The big thing is knowing that you're going to do it, right? Just push forward. There was no other alternative. I just had to make it happen. That was my first part, was my mentality where I was. The other thing is I've had to find my team. Renatus tells you in the beginning, as you're building this, build your team. Make the connections and make all the dots go together. I found an agent that wasn't scared to be investor friendly and fire offers with me. And so we would sit down in my office, and I have a system for doing it. And it's pretty powerful, but we would sit side by side. And I'd run it. I got good at cherry picking certain things online. And this is off the MLS, we could do this. And I would turn around and I would say, hey, comp this, run that, comp this, put an offer. And we would go and we would just do like 30 deals. Comped, I'd run my formulas, and I would do it blind by watching because I understand rehab. So like, okay, that's a $50,000 rehab, $60,000 rehab. And I have the formulas and everything. I'd run it and I'd say, hey, fire the offer right here. Offer. And so we would just sit back and we would fire offers one after another, after another, after another. That was my attitude about just taking massive action. Now, I don't fire 50, 60 offers a week now. I don't have to. As I built the business, people bring deals to me. My network is actually expanded, so stuff's constantly coming to me. That happens one day. I remember Raul Campos telling me that. I was like, man, where's the deals? I can't find one. And he tells me, he says, just keep doing it. There's plenty out there. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know what your guys' strategy is. I want to show you just a map. This is powerful visual for you. If you got on just to see this, I think this would be powerful for you. This right here, can you see my phone? Can you see that?
Oh, now, yeah.
If you can see it, everything on my phone right here is in a distress situation. That's just right here in the Salt Lake Valley. So it's monstrous. There's just thousands of houses here. Guys, there's deals everywhere. They're your neighbor. They're a family member. They're everywhere. So if you're looking for deals, you're trying to take action, go help somebody. That's really the beauty of this business. That's what you're supposed to do. Go find somebody, bring value to them, help them, solve their problem, become a professional problem solver. And that's how you win. That's how the game's done.
Just making notes here too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the mentality we go out whenever I'm helping a homeowner or anything. I'm like, you know what? And this might be something, you don't have to copy on this, but when I'm finding a deal, my mentality is, this is my shift in my head. When I'm going in to meet a homeowner or figure, it's not just throwing a number at them. I'm asking them questions. What would you like to see happen? In the best case scenario, how would you like this to work for you? And I'm asking them questions, but I come in to try making the deal. I try helping them save their place. I try helping them get out of a situation with no concept of trying to make the money, to make a deal. And sometimes I help people and I show them how to get back on their feet. And they're like, thank you, Landon. And they ask me, what do you get out of it? I said, exactly this. I got to help you. I said, and this is, so I bring the help first. I bring that value first. And if the deal, I don't care if there was 150 grand I could have made on it. I help them. I save them if I can. If not, I am the default plan. I can buy the property. I can help you move the property. I can wholesale the property. But I bring value to the person. Go out and help people because people can feel that. If you go out and you truly help them, it just comes back. And then when they know somebody else is in trouble, or in a situation, call Landon. He's helped me. He was easy work with. He didn't make no money off me on this last deal, but go with him. Next thing you know, that's your deal. And that's the part, being in the game enough where you get your name out there enough and you build your branding where people know that you're the guy to go to help people. Hopefully that helps everybody.
Awesome, Landon. Hey, well, Landon, thank you so much for your time coming out here. Let me see if open up, see if anybody has any questions for you. So yeah, if anybody listening on here, do you have any questions for Landon here before we let him go to his busy day?
And hopefully that helps everybody, even if you don't respond. Hopefully it gives you just one little thing to help you move forward, because that's what it's all about.
Hey, Landon, this is Sandra.
Nice, Sandra. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for all your knowledge and sharing it. I heard you saying like you have formulas to analyze deals.
Yeah.
Any advice in which direction can I get them or study them or
I think
advise me in that way?
Yeah, a few of us actually run a lot of the same formulas. I learned part of the formula from Raul Campos, and there's all kinds of different formulas. I've tweaked the formula to fit my work. It just works for me. And so that way, I got one friend who wants to do like, I got this formula for this and this formula for that. I'm like, look, I'm simple. I got this formula. I know how it works in the numbers. So sit down. I mean, that's a cool thing. I don't mind sitting down with people and just kind of running them through it. Be like, look, this is how this worked. This is how this worked, and run a few deals. Then you guys see how the formula works, and it's powerful. And that way I don't have to second guess when I get accepted on an offer. I was like, okay, I know the numbers are good. Now I just have to do my due diligence and really check everything, make sure the rehab's on par, make sure that the comp's on target, and then proceed forward. So yeah, no, that'd be totally fine. You can message me or just make the connection through Tim and them or however, but yeah, I don't mind sharing it all.